We'd like to welcome you back to another episode of Cut to the Chase.
I'm Fernando.
I'm Travis.
I'm Tanner.
I'm Vivian.
And I'm Marcus.
So today, we thought it would be nice to talk to you about the value of customer service. And in fact, we're in such a customer-driven occupation, we wanted to ask maybe the first question being, why is it so important in our industry as barbers to have good customer service?
I could go first.
Yeah.
I think it's important to have good customer service because if with bad customer service, people leave bad reviews. And even if you do a good job, sometimes people still leave you bad reviews. And I think that's why it's such an important topic to talk about.
I feel in our industry, you could be a super solid barber and have horrible customer service, and your business is still going to suffer from that. Or you could potentially grow so much quicker, and really the sky's the limit when you have great customer service, because without customer service, you won't have customers. And without customers, you can't offer your service.
Very true. I think people really these days like to feel like they're getting the value for their money too. We're kind of like getting on harder economic times. People are going to be more choosy as to how they want to spend their money. So in our industry, we're in the service industry first. I feel like lately our industry has become more self-serving to the barber. But it's like the lens needs to turn from the barber back to the client, because we are here to serve. And the more we can do that, and like you guys already talked about, better reviews and just people feeling, feeling like they're getting value out of what they're expecting.
True. Like, haircuts are a necessity. People work really hard to earn their money. And it feels great, applying also to know that you're going to a barbershop with great customer service, that they're going to provide a really great service aside from a great haircut. And it feels great just walking out of the shop saying, man, like, this is worth the money, the time. And especially now, kind of like that Martin mentioned, the economy here, it's put up and down. So when you have great customer service, it just feels that much better knowing, like, man, I like coming here. I look forward to coming to the shop and at least satisfied.
Yeah. I think that says a lot. I mean, if you think about it, the restaurant industry, right, you don't want to ever leave a restaurant and feel like, well, that wasn't worth it. Right? So, we're a huge part of that. When they leave our chairs, when they leave our shop, we want them to feel so much like that was money well spent. They feel better about their day, their life, and they look forward to, like you said, turning on the back and spending that money again. And building that relationship is a huge part of it.
I also think that the important thing is the topic that we have in the barbershops, that we don't talk about anything that's too crazy on one spectrum. Because you could have a good haircut, but you could have a bad customer service towards a certain type of people, and that would discriminate somebody.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because I feel like when I think about our shop motto, making you feel like your best every time, to kind of piggyback on what you said, Damien, is like, we didn't make the motto like making your haircut look great every time, because it's more than just the haircut. Like feeling great is more than just the haircut. It's the vibe, the conversation, the feel from the moment they walk in to the moment they leave. It's kind of a complete package. So I agree with that. It's like that's key, very important.
All right. So on the second question, what is your favorite way to personally show customer service to the client?
I would say whenever I'm with a client and cutting their hair, I just want them to feel that I truly show them how I would want my hair to come out, right? Like when you're in my chair, it's mine, right? Like the way I want it to look, the way I would like someone to be cutting my hair, or the service that I'm providing, that it would be as if I was in the chair. And then when you leave the chair, it's your hair again. But that whole time, it's what I want to show.
I like that too. Yeah, it makes me think about like when I go to a restaurant now or just anywhere else. I'm like more sensitive or like I notice more the customer service is getting to me because we're in the service industry. So I notice when it's good and I notice when it's bad. And I think I feel like that's a great point because if I want to feel great leading another establishment, another business, why not give the folks here the best service that I can?
Yeah, I think the way I personally show that my customer service to a client is just really trying to make them feel the most important person in the shop when they're in that chair, right? So a lot of times when we try to not be an inconvenience to others, we sometimes do it at our own detriment. Like I just, whatever you think, just go ahead. I don't care. Just, I don't want to take too much of your time. Move on, right? Customers kind of tend to be like that sometimes. And so I try to do my best to, like today, for example, a guy wanted to take his beard real short. And before I just slapped on the foreguard and ran all over, I was like, well, let me do this real quick. I have something in mind. And I knock it down a little bit, shaped it up how I wanted it. And even though the picture he showed me was a lot shorter, I got it perfect for his facial structure and how I think it would have looked best. And he was like, okay, good call. Let's do it. That's it. Right. So just letting them see that they're not a nuance. They're not a nuisance to us. They're not taking up our time. This is about you and your chair. So I think that's the way I like to show the most.
Perfect. Truth. I think kind of like you guys mentioned, one of the ways is, it could be somewhat of a problem in our industry is like not being acknowledged or heard when wanting a certain style. And sometimes it's those two things could go a long way. Kind of like, feeling great about the service and haircut, but working with the client and the barber explaining, this is a cut tailored to you. This is what would look best. So they're being heard, they're being acknowledged, and they didn't leave the shop confused. So I think one of the ways for me is, that I ask, so we all ask questions. We try to get it right the first time, and, I think that's one of the ways, just communication.
I think one thing that I like is facing the person here and explaining to them what I'm gonna cut and how I'm gonna cut it. For example, I'll take a section of their hair, and some people will say, "I just want to trim." But that means so many different things. So I tell them, "I'm gonna grab a section of your hair. I'm gonna show you how long your hair is right now, and then I'm gonna let you decide how much you want to cut." And after that, if you're unsatisfied, well, that's what you decided on, and that's what we both decided on. And that's why I think it's tailored to everybody. And also asking them questions, for example, like, what they do for work or how often they do their hair and, catering a haircut that suits them and their lifestyle.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think for me, probably one of my most favorite parts that we try to do at our shop at both locations is like greeting people when they come in. It's something so small, but we've all worked at shops where they don't do that. And it's like, we've all also walked into other shops or other businesses where they make you feel like you said, a nuisance. Like, why are you here? It's like, well, I'm here to get the service that you offer. So I think one of the, from the time they step in, just at least saying hello, maybe you have an appointment or you're already taken care of. And then from there, like offering a drink, the consultation, like all these things hopefully make that person feel like they're a king, or if it's a female queen sitting in our chair like that, they've been catered to. And it's really the simple stuff, that should just be done, period, for customer service.
One thing that I like, the fact that we're on 60th Street, is that we get clients that come here and me and Marcus and myself will book. So typically it has happened where I've gone to businesses that are like, well, sorry, we can't, we're booked today. But where we have our first location up the street where we have Tanner, we have Travis, and we, instead of rejecting the client, we look at the schedule and be like, hey, you know what, they have an opening. So instead of feeling like they just got rejected or we couldn't get them in, they were able to get in with our other barbers, Tanner and Travis, up the street. So that's kind of like a good feeling knowing that we didn't say no, we couldn't get him in, but we were able to find a solution to get him in with one of our other barbers.
Awesome. Lastly, how have your clients responded to your efforts to show them great service?
We all mentioned great things of what we do here at the Gentleman's Cutlery. I think one of the things that really stands out is when they leave, they want to book their appointment already. Before they leave, they want to know they're on the books. But the unique part about our shop and that we all work together is, let's say I'm not available or I'm out of town. We really preach the fact that we say, hey, you know what, book with Damien, Travis, Tanner, and Marky. And the environment here at our shop is so friendly and welcoming that they feel comfortable booking with any of the barbers here. So knowing the fact that they want to book an appointment before they leave or book with any of the guys here, that's just truly satisfying knowing that they don't want to go anywhere else.
And I think one of the ways that the clients here have rewarded me are, for example, every time I get a new client, I send them a welcome text and send them a follow-up and ask them how they like their haircut and if they would like a review. You send a lot of those texts, you don't get a lot of responses, but when you do, and you're going down and you're seeing the reviews and then you see that they mention you, and they mention something that they liked about your haircut or why they would come back, that feels nice, and that attracts other clients that probably will do the same thing for you, and they'll leave you a review, and the cycle keeps going. And even though it takes a lot of work, and a lot of people may not respond, but it's gonna pay off.
Yeah, the reviews are huge, right? So if you're a client, leave a review, right? It's easy to do. But not only that, a lot of clients, they'll go tell their friends, right? Like how many of us have cut a guy, then their friend comes, or dad comes, they want to book it for their brother, whoever it is, right? And then now we got clients who are interweb, they all know each other. And that's awesome to see too. We got clients who know each other, chair to chair. Yeah. And that's really cool to bring the whole shop and the conversation together too.
The whole office, Sancho.
Well, that's right. There's a business up the street that I believe you cut a couple of guys, I cut a couple of guys, and they had mentioned about even having us go to their business and cut all the employees. I think that's amazing.
So, I think for me, one of the cool ways, is tips, but it doesn't even, I say this with all genuineness, like, if I get $1 tip, like some of my clients literally just tip me $1 or $2. And that might be like, man, but I still look at that every time they put it in and I take it as like a compliment and I appreciate it because honestly, tipping is not required. But the fact that even if they want to give me something small or something big, it speaks to the value that they put on, the service I gave. So tips help us, all of us. We appreciate it. And it doesn't have to be anything extravagant. It's, every little bit helps.
Yeah, I would say I'd piggyback off of Travis's, answer about when they refer friends. There was one time this person booked a haircut and a beard trim and he came in and he was bald. And I was like, well, you're paying full price for a bald head. Like, I feel guilty even charging that. But what I did is I shaved their whole head straight just to give them that special, it's not just like running a clipper over it, and it's something worth more to them. And now I have 2 clients that have the exact same thing. And all that did was start bringing an added service, and it was awesome that they showed that appreciation by bringing more people to me. And that's not just the only client that he's brought me. So, I think that's the best thing that I've seen from a client.
That's dope. Customer service is very important in our industry. Thank you guys for taking the time to do this. We appreciate all of you, for your contribution to not only the Gentleman's Cutlery, but to each of us individually. As we always say, you guys help us keep the lights on here and at home. So we appreciate it. Anything else, guys?
Schedule your next haircut. Soon.
All right.
See you guys.
Better take me. I'm just kidding.